God provided instantly. That's what faith is. You having the faith, it doesn't matter what it looks like around you, having that faith of, Lord, I trust you, so I'm going to go ahead and walk. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sierra, and this is your Bestie Blogger. So this video is going to be about how my bold faith enabled me to travel for the last 6 months. So I'm recording this, is currently July. I just got back in the US and I've been traveling in Europe and Africa since December of last year. And I was traveling very light as well. I had a backpack with my laptop, and then all my clothes and all my belongings fit in a carry-on. When I planned the trip, I was planning a 2-week trip, coming back, and then going back and like continuing my travel. That is not what God planned. And I did try to come back multiple times. When you follow God, when you follow Jesus, it is not an easy walk. So people, they always hear like, oh wow, you were traveling, you were living in Morocco and Spain and Portugal and all of this, and they asked me how it was. And it's not like I went on some adventure where I planned like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this, this, and this, and this, and this. It's just gonna be fun and rainbows and sunshine. My journey was, it was a huge blessing. It was a very huge blessing, because the Lord had me give away my business at the end of (2021). So in December of 2021 is when he led me to give away my business. I had a physical location, and then I transitioned into a new business and trying to do things online. But honestly, when I was traveling, guys, I had zero income coming in. So again, I was able to travel and live around the world for over half a year on zero income. 100% by the grace of God. You guys, the opportunities that God can open and lead you to just by being obedient, you can't even fathom. Like, it's still so unreal. So a lot of times when people ask me about this journey, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. For example, the week of my birthday, I was very homesick. Because me, my mom, and my sister, we all have birthdays in March. So typically I get to see them at least once, do one type of celebration with them. And I don't really care about like celebrating my birthday. I don't really care about holidays like that. But at that point, I've been in Morocco for 3 months. And I guess kind of by choice, not really by choice. And I just wanted, I've been wanting to leave. There was a lot of things happening. And I was homesick. I was missing, well, I wasn't really homesick. I was just missing my family. And everybody that I was hanging around with, my Moroccan family, 2 of them spoke English. So all the people that I was hanging around with in Morocco, majority of the time, 97 to 98% of them did not speak any type of English. A majority of the time I wasn't around people who I can like fully have like deep, real conversations with. So between not being able to see family, that social engagement wasn't there. They were just, I needed connection or something. And so that's where God led me to another miracle. Should I start at the beginning? I'm already into this story. So this particular story, I'm spending time in a village, in one of the villages that I was visiting, and the family, they have a lot of kids. So the kids found out that it was their birthday and they wanted to do something. And honestly, what we did and what we got, it was for the kids. I was just the excuse to do it. Because I don't think I even ate the sweets. We just got like a bunch of cookies and stuff for the kids, and everything was like, well, we have to do this because of the kids. And I was already homesick, and I'm like, it was just, that week was so hard for me. I remember when my mom or sister called me, sometimes I couldn't even answer the phone because just seeing their name would start me, I would cry. I just wanted and for me, home is a feeling. So at that time, I didn't feel at home. I didn't have that environment that I needed. And most of the time during my travel, I did have a feeling with people that I met where like it was comfortable, that was my current home. But that week I wasn't feeling it. So I don't know if it was the day before my birthday. I think it was the day before my birthday. 1 or 2. No, it was 2 days before my birthday. Yeah, 2 days before my birthday. I remember I had a dream, and God told me, well, in my dream, I was speaking, and I was getting ready to go. I was at the docks, so I was like going to Spain. So in the dream, God led me. He was telling me through me saying that I was going to Spain tomorrow. That's what I said in the dream. Like, I'm getting on the boat tomorrow, and there's a boat from Morocco to Spain. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to Spain tomorrow. So fast forward, I wake up. I know I got to go to Spain tomorrow. And it wasn't tomorrow, like that next day. It was 2 days later. Like that first day, there was so much happening mentally, physically, spiritually, that my mind and emotions were just trying to process everything else that was already going on. And so now I got to get ready to go to Spain. And again, at this point, I maybe have like $10 in my bank account, if $10. Lord, make sure I always had just enough for what he needed me to do, but not enough to leave. so yeah, the following day I packed my bags, because God has done so much for me in the past that I 100% trust him in everything. He has made a way. He has made a way in so many amazing, miraculous ways that I don't even question it anymore. If I'm going somewhere and I don't have the finances, I don't have the transportation, I don't have something, I'm like, Lord, do a miracle. I know you're gonna do a miracle. So when I get there, you can do it on my way. You can do it when I get there, however you want to do it. But I know you're going to do this miracle. I expect him to do miracles for me because I know who he is. And I know what he's capable of doing, especially if I'm obedient to his will and I'm following what he is leading me to do in life. It's expected. He expects me to do his will. I expect him to bless me. And so, okay, yeah. So I packed my bags. I don't have the finances. And I'm getting ready. I'm literally getting in bed. I'm not physically getting in bed because I wasn't sleeping on the bed at a time. I was sleeping just like on a mat and a mat, blanket, and pillow. So yeah, I'm getting ready for bed. I get in. I'm getting ready to turn off my phone, And I already tell the people that I'm with that like I have to go to the bus station in the morning because I need to go to Spain. And I tell them that I don't even have enough for the bus ticket to get to the city where the ferry is, to take the ferry to Spain. I don't have finance for none of that at the moment. But I go to sleep. As I'm going to sleep, I see someone sends me a message and they bless me for my birthday. And by the time I wake up, the Lord had blessed my account. Thank you. The Lord had blessed my account where I had more than enough to take the bus to Spain, take the ferry take the bus to Tangier, take the taxi from there to the port I need to go to, and from bus, taxi, ferry, and then from the ferry, I went to Tarifa that time. So I went to Tarifa, Spain, the first time he led me to Spain, and that was a great trip. And from that point, when I got off the boat, you guys, I was so confused. So when we left, I think we left like 1 or 2 hours late. Side note, if you go to if you're in Morocco or if you're in Spain and you take the ferry, if you take FRS, do not plan anything that is timed at all. Don't plan anything that is timed if you have to take the ferry. I have never taken the ferry and it has arrived or left on time by like within an hour. So don't, my ferry days are typically just ferry days. I'm not waiting all day for the ferry days, but I let it just be, I go with the flow day, which most of my days are anyway with God. But especially ferry days, don't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna take the ferry and then take something and catch the plane. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you, even if you bought a ticket at the ticket counter, because the lady was like, one of our ferries is running behind. That ferry came like 3 or 4 hours later. And then because it was off schedule, we had to wait in the ocean, like far out. And just be aware, FRS will be delayed. Okay, so I get to Spain. I get off the boat. Walking down the European streets, my soul was like, okay, this is it. We loving this. So automatically, I loved, it wasn't even vibes yet because I was literally coming off the port, but just walking the streets of Europe, I was like, yeah, I can do this. Europe so far compared to living in Morocco and the US, Europe was giving me really good vibes at the time. And so I didn't know, but it's Carnival in Spain the day I get there. And so I get off and it was like Asian themed. So like everybody was wearing like old samurai costumes and cute, why did I forget the word? Kimonos. Everyone's wearing kimonos and they're dressed like, they're all dressed in Asian theme. Yeah, I don't understand why or what it was going on, but they were all dressed like that. So I get off the boat, first time in Spain. I walk down the street. The first the first group of people I see, they're all in kimonos, and they all got like the white makeup and so I know I took a boat and I know I understand how maps work, but you guys, when I got to Spain during Carnival, not knowing it was Carnival, I really had to question, like, why do all the Spanish people look Chinese? Not Chinese, I'm sorry. Look Asian. So that took a minute to process. So I just kept going. Then I start seeing, because again, it was just like random people walking to the event. And then I start seeing like, like where they're like set up, and like they have like a lot of stuff set up for the kids, bouncy houses and their lights and their stage and there's music. So I get to my hotel, I drop off my stuff, I go out, I enjoy it, and I stayed for about 4 or 5 days there, enjoying it. Had amazing pizza. The pizza was it's one of the best pizzas I've ever had. I haven't been to Italy yet, but that pizza was amazing. And I actually met an Italian girl well, the next day, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go get pizza again for dinner. And I invited some people that I met, and we went to go have it, and everyone loved the pizza, and she even approved. So the pizza was amazing. But yeah, just like that, I was homesick, did not have finances, and then I was spending a week in Spain celebrating my birthday with a bunch of strangers, and it was an amazing time. It was such an amazing time. Every trip that I take and I meet people, and the cool thing is everyone is from a different place, from a different culture. We all speak different languages, so we all try to learn like each other's languages a little bit. And this trip has really been an amazing trip. Oh my gosh. But that was 1 week. I was gone for 6 months. Wow. So I guess honestly how did it really begin? So yeah, he wanted me to talk about how my bold faith allowed me to travel. So there was a 1 year delay before this trip. When getting ready for this trip, the Lord had led me to like start downsizing. Where he had first moved me, which was a faith move as well, to Florida, I lived in 3 different places. In each place, I downsized a little bit in each place. My last place was the smallest, which honestly, my last place was so small. I had a lot of my stuff in storage, and at that time I was looking at, okay, so when I first got to Florida, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do boat life. And then everyone was like, no, like, don't do boat life. And then one of my best friends at the time, who told me don't do boat life, I think he's still doing boat life. Like, I was like, wait, so we were just talking about this, and then like 2 weeks later, he's like, well, I'm quitting and going sailing on a boat. Okay. So like, I've been planning it for the last year, but okay. But I was also looking into like van life. I thought it would be really cool to do van life for like a year or a period of time. I really wanted to do that. Still kind of do. Even if it's like RV life or something. Just be able to, okay, not this video. But I knew that like he kept putting, oh wow. I just understood why. The Lord kept putting different things in me. So one thing too that I pray is that my desires are aligned with his will. That way when I'm craving something, when I'm desiring something, it's because the Lord has placed that in me, and I know he's leading me to that place. So my first year when he moved me to Florida, at the end, like I was reaching towards the end of the year, I really wanted to move out of the country. I told my sister, I'm like, I'm thinking of either moving to Spain or to France. I really want to, like I knew a little Spanish, and I used to speak a little Spanish. Now I'm at the point where, especially going back and forth between Spain and Morocco, my mind, I wouldn't go long enough for my mind to fully adjust to Spanish. Like, people would talk to me, and then like my travel time would be so long that my English was even bad. And they were like, what language do you speak? But but not for the most part, I can understand like when people are like speaking to me and telling me things in Spanish to an extent, and feel like I can respond, do what they need me to do. But now I have to retrain my brain and relearn the language to where I'm able to respond in a conversational manner again. So again, my first year in Florida, at the end of the year, I had that itch, and I'm looking into going to culinary school. So I have always wanted to go to culinary school since I was in like middle school or high school. I cooked very well. I love cooking. I love experimenting. My sister always would tell me that you should go to, I think at the time we were looking to like Le Cordon Bleu. So that was something I'd always had a passion for, and that I do want to expand my knowledge in. And so my goal was either to go to school in Spain, and I think I was looking at schools in Barcelona, or go to France and dive in, learn the language, learn the culture and the food. And like, I just really wanted to dive in and immerse myself. That's what I was feeling, and that's what I was feeling I was craving at the end of that first year. I was like, I needed to do one or the other. But I got distracted. Hi guys, so this video ended up being a lot longer than I expected, so I split it into a 2-part series. You can check out part 2, how my relationship with God grew, right here.